3,675 drinks. He will spend a total of $18,024. That's enough to buy a 2016 Dodge Charger with a couple $100 left over to put in your pocket. Or instead, you could book an all-inclusive trip to a resort in Cancun, Mexico at about $360 per room per night. You could stay for 52 days. That's right, instead of spending $18,000 on alcohol, you could go live for 2 months at an all-inclusive resort. That would be pretty crazy. And lastly, over an entire year on average, he will consume 575,400 calories in alcohol.
So you should all keep those numbers in mind when you decide to buy a Cameo or pay for a tour through New York with him. You can almost guarantee Josh is going to use that money you give him to buy alcohol. Or he's going to use it on a plane ticket to fly to different places to get wasted. Just take a look at all the places Josh has been this last year traveling. Not only that, but Josh probably eats better than both you and I do. Apart from the images of his drinks, Josh also likes to post the food he's eating, and let me tell you, it's nothing to scoff at.
Son of a bitch. I spent $89 on French onion soup, shrimp scampi, and a glass of wine. Fucking price gouging.
However, if Josh was just spending his money on expensive food and traveling, that wouldn't be the issue here. At the end of the day, he is an autistic man with a severe alcohol addiction that's being taken advantage of by Michael Quinn and trolled to no end. The story of Joshua Block is kind of a sad one. What once was a naive, goofy kid dancing in his grandpa's house is now an alcoholic mess wandering the streets of New York. Although he's managed to make quite a career out of what he does, Josh definitely needs a real role model in his life to help him with his alcohol addiction and get him away from Michael Quinn. Not too long ago, Josh was even arrested for subway surfing. Subway surfing is when someone rides on top of, the side of, or behind a subway car, and while I can't see Josh actually doing this, there is footage of him being escorted out of the subway by police, so he was arrested for something. Just another prime example of why Josh needs a serious role model in his life to get him on the straight and narrow. This has been the story of World of T-Shirts, the alcoholic king of New York. Thank you to everyone that's made it to this point, and a massive shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate the hell out of your support. With all that being said, I'm Nick Nobody, and until next time, I'm out.
Or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Like that, is it?
I see, I get the idea. I get the...
Everything that was just said there is the opposite of what Leah stands for. If Bruce Lee is...
Where do you live? I want to know where you live.
We know where you live and we came to torment you.
The pick-me final boss has arrived. This is not wifey material. It's just literally material. It kind of reminds me of a certain YouTuber slithering his way to steal my content.
What did he say? I thought my jokes were bad.
To some degree, I lack empathy. You know who else has no empathy? Psychopaths. It's kind of like if you didn't wake up tomorrow, I also wouldn't care. I would just move on with my day. When something's useless, you throw it away. What are you gonna do about it?
What am I gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
I believe that in life, people get exactly what they deserve. And in the case of Sniper Wolf, we're witnessing a deserved downfall that's just as much about karma as it is the inevitable result of countless controversies. You see, in the digital world, horrendous actions like Leah's have some sort of a magical way of catching up to you.
I feel like everything bad about my reputation is based on lies that other people have made up. Imagine if people made up lies about you and they attack you based on those lies.
Ironically, that's the biggest lie of all time. Everything bad about Leah's reputation is based on definitive truths, and her constant gaslighting just like that is the exact reason why she has 34 million subscribers, yet the only people who defend her are literal children and the simps that buy her atrocious merch.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
And although some might think that Leah is too big to fail, she's not the exception to actions having consequences. The fact of the matter is, she's too evil to continually succeed, and people are finally starting to notice.
Oh, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
For years, Leah has been one of the most influential people on this entire platform, and her rise to the top over the past few years hasn't just been about numbers. It was about intentionally crafting an image that even YouTube themselves was more than happy to endorse, and as a result of this, she's been touted as YouTube's golden girl, and she's been promoted to tens of millions of children across the world as some nice, innocent woman who can do no wrong.
Hello friends, it's me.
Just because someone's nice doesn't mean they have good intentions.
Even salt can be made to look like sugar, and this is where YouTube's so-called golden girl becomes the golden problem, because ultimately no one can get away with doing the things that Leah has consistently done to people over the course of her career and not eventually fall flat on their face. You cannot steal content from others without even thinking about crediting a single person for years on end. You cannot dox a creator's home and make them fear for their safety. You can't file false copyright strikes on everyone you personally dislike. You cannot accuse others of stealing your entire personality while knowing for a fact that you've stolen theirs. And most importantly, you can't be a role model for millions of children out there if you're going to be as evil as Leah has time and time again been proven to be.
My daughter, my 10-year-old, loves Sniper Wolf.
Sniper Wolf?
That is a problem, and I think it's time that I take care of this problem.
All you care about is money. This town, it deserves a better class of criminal. And I'm gonna give it to him.
Let me creep into your prison cell. Hey baby, can you tell I'm not a criminal?
Right off the bat, I want to talk about Leah's track record of being placed in a cage. If you didn't know, Sniper Wolf has been arrested not just once, but twice, which means that Leah has literally sat in a jail cell by herself on numerous occasions based strictly on behavior that she chose to do as a fully grown adult.
That's a way to live. It's called being a criminal.
Now, these mugshots are from a while back, they're 10 and 7 years old, and obviously everyone makes mistakes in life. Ideally, those mistakes don't get you placed in a cell, but either way, if you're like most normal people, you typically learn from your mistakes and become a better person over time. The problem with Leah is that she hasn't really demonstrated any sort of positive change since being arrested, and I think her own words sum it up best.
Yeah, I'll just go to jail real quick, come out. Okay, let's repeat.
The only growth she has demonstrated to the world over the past few years is the ability to grift as a family-friendly content creator. But behind the scenes, she's just as vindictive as ever, as we can see here from this DM that she recently sent some random guy on Twitter, where she says, "Post my better mugshot, you rat." Luckily for her, I posted both of them, so we shouldn't have any issues with that.
You got me there.
So Leah hasn't gotten better over time. She's only managed to get better at hiding her spiteful behavior. And I'd actually make the argument that she's only managed to get worse since being placed in a cell twice. And that's exactly why I'm bringing this up. One of Leah's arrests was for armed robbery, and still to this day, she continues to steal. The only difference between now and then is that she stopped getting caught, which, by her own admission, is still stealing.
It's only stealing if you get caught.
No, it's still stealing. You just didn't get caught.
You see, Leah's entire channel nowadays is literally just watching other people's content with the face cam on, barely reacting to it, and then repeating that process for hours on end on a daily basis, and she has been doing that exact same thing for about 5 years now.
Bro has a bag of, what is that, Kool-Aid? What happened? Bro was so excited toting his slushy bag a second ago, went to take a sip. I just fell in the crusty, musty dirt water. You better hope that's a chalky milk pond. That's gross.
I want you to take a step back here and really put yourself in Leah's shoes. Imagine how mind-numbing it must be to be a 31-year-old human being who just describes TikToks for numerous hours a day, every single day, as a full-time job.
I don't know if I like it or I hate it. It's a monkey in a diaper and a coat.
Yes, Leah, that is a monkey in a diaper and a coat. Assuming that you're not blind, you can clearly see there is a monkey on the screen and what he's wearing. Just imagine how bizarre it would be if I uploaded an entire 10-minute reaction video to Leah's content in the same exact way she reacts to other people's content. She's a woman I did that once, and I already feel like I've sold my soul, but Leah has been doing exactly that as a career for more than 5 years now. That is blasphemous.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy.
And this woman absolutely has gone insane from watching so many TikToks. Anyone who's consumed as many TikToks as Leah has over the course of the last 5 years has had their brain absolutely fried by that app, and I would assume that's why her commentary lacks any sort of actual substance 100% of the time.
Great content, you know?
Got an entire bear. Aren't brown bears the dangerous ones? Yeah, the grizzly bears. A bro has a whole grizzly bear in his kitchen.
Yes, bro certainly does have a whole ass grizzly bear in his kitchen. We are very observant today, aren't we? That is absolutely what is happening in this TikTok that you definitely didn't steal.
And he brushing his teeth. Yeah.
And I want to make this clear, there is a night and day difference between a real reaction video and what Leah does. I've made multiple reaction videos myself, and every single one of them is a bulletproof example of fair use. So that means that if anyone ever copyright striked one of those videos, I'd be more than happy to go to court over it and win. In all honesty, I'm actually kind of hoping for it. I think it'd be pretty badass to do my face reveal in court, but enough about my fantasies. I've outlined the differences between a good and a bad reaction video here in terms of fair use, but just to quickly summarize, to make a fair use reaction video, you have to actually transform the content that you're reacting to. It cannot be a market replacement for the original video, so you basically just can't do this.
This dude is digging and digging and digging and digging. What's in it?
Everyone say robbery! Robbery!